Hello and welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the vlog, welcome back to the car, welcome back to Cornwall, and welcome back to summer. The rain has arrived, and this level crossing, it never gets any better. I genuinely don't know what they did to it. Anyway, yeah, we're starting way out in the country because it is absolutely pouring down. I've just gone through storm after storm, and I guess I'm just gonna have to talk a little bit louder when the rain comes. But that's not as bad as the Pacific. I gather the countries around the Pacific are getting absolutely, I guess monsooned over there, and it is very dangerous. As opposed to Europe and North America, where it is just very hot, very sunny, and a different kind of danger. The sun is just beating down and everyone's dehydrating. So if you are experiencing terrible weather at the moment, just give me a shout down below. Just a little note just to say you're okay, because that would be good. I mean, I care about you guys. Why would we not? And I genuinely do think about you as viewers, but also people, human beings who live in very different parts of the world to this. Boy, I hope you're getting better weather than this. Wow. Okay, so that's not what I wanted to talk about. What I wanted to talk about was the fact that I did a vlog yesterday. I went out in the car and I did a vlog, and then I got home and deleted it. All of it was gone because I talked for 25 minutes, and then I realized that at the end of it, I couldn't remember what I said, and it just didn't feel good. It didn't feel right, so I just binged the whole thing. And that's okay, you can do that sometimes. I had a conversation with 3 people in the last few weeks. One person who is at work, who's just started a YouTube channel. One person last night who is a Twitch streamer, and another person who does neither. So the person at work, Sophie, she has started a YouTube channel doing vlogs from her farm. So she works at work during the day, and then in the morning and evening and weekends works on, I think, her uncle's farm. And she started a channel called Our Cornish Farm. I'll link it below. But she was in the office and she was saying, I don't want to do a vlog this week. I don't feel like doing a vlog this week. And I said, well, don't. If you don't feel like doing something, if you don't feel like you have the energy to do something, it's okay not to do that. It's absolutely okay, because your audience will feel it if you're beating yourself up trying to get a video out. Your audience is going to know. Your audience is going to feel it, because you're not going to bring the same energy. So if you're not feeling it, don't do it. You don't need to be a slave to the algorithm, and you don't need to be a slave to your own internal monologue, your own internal little voice saying, oh, well, I haven't uploaded and I need to do it because otherwise people are going to be upset with me. It's like, no, if you need to take a break, even if it's just like a week or so, do it. Just absolutely do it. There's no wrong answer there. I also had a conversation with a streamer last night. I was watching a stream, and afterwards we were on Discord, and he said, first of all he said pepperoni pizza. No one's going to get that except for them maybe, but they're an Australian. And they live in the UK, so they're streaming on UK time, and I'll link them down below as well. That was Oz Soul, and he said, I started out streaming one game. And I was like, yeah, I was there, I was watching. And then he said, but I just got bored. And then I went on to a different game, but I feel bad about it. And I'm like, my dude, once again, don't feel bad about it. If you're doing something and you're just not feeling it, you can 100% just make that change. Just stop and do something else. Do whatever makes you feel better, because your audience is absolutely going to know and going to feel it, and just going to be like, yeah, that's a strange one. I thought they were parked, but apparently they were waiting for us. Weird. So yeah, if you're not feeling it, you can either take a break, or in Oz's case, make a change. Now we're going to be very careful here, because that is blind to me. So I can see, I can't, yeah, there we go. we could just kind of roll out as best as possible, and just keep on the brakes there. So yeah, and he was like, I don't feel good about making that change, but changing to a different game definitely helped. So I'm gonna have to shout over the rain, I feel. It's just one of those days. If I want to record a vlog, I've got to shout over the rain. So yeah, I mean, that's absolutely fine. If you can either do something different, or you can just take a break. The third person I spoke to was another person at work, and he said, "Oh, when you're playing video games for the channel, do the video games stop being fun because you're doing it essentially as a job?" And I was like, well, no. In fact, it's the opposite. If you choose something to record, if you choose to record a video game and you're doing it regularly, and you're doing it for like YouTube. So I'm recording, say, Disco Elysium 2 hours a week. That means that I'm getting 2 hours of Disco Elysium a week, where if I was playing it by myself, I might just mainline it over a weekend and then just not remember the game. Just feel bad because I was like, well, that was great, but I don't actually remember half of it. By taking a game in small chunks, little bite-sized chunks, in order to record it for YouTube, I feel a little bit better about it. Like, I remember more of the game, and I can think, oh, I actually anticipate recording that, or I anticipate playing it. Like, I'm really enjoying playing Disco Elysium, and I'm really enjoying doing 2-hour stints. Although, one of the things I will say is, before recording Disco Elysium, because it is such a long record, one of the things that I do is make sure I have a sandwich. So have a sandwich, have a cup of tea, make sure my blood sugar level is okay, make sure I'm not fatigued, and make sure I'm comfortable, and also get a big glass of water. So having that glass of water, having like checked your blood sugar and everything, and making sure you're okay, like you as a human are okay. We are gonna go, where are you? Oh, he's going straight over. I couldn't work out where they were going. It's one of those problems with small country crossroads. I'm gonna give that guy some space because I don't think he's got mud flaps and he's spraying a lot of mud all over our windshield. So yeah, make sure you're okay. Make sure what you want to record is something you actually want to record. And if those are checked, if your blood sugar's fine, if your mental health is fine, if you are just chill and what you're doing is exciting, then yeah, you should put out a decent product. So yeah, look after yourself as much as trying to look after your audience. Holy crap, it's muddy along here. It's like we're driving across Verdun. Weird. But yeah, so like yesterday I recorded a vlog, and it was the third thing I'd recorded in that day. So I started out with Disco Elysium, then I recorded Stranded Deep. So that was 2.5 hours of recording. Well, actually it's more, because 2.5 hours of recording plus setup and plus the extra run over time, plus getting up and going to the bathroom and getting more drinks and making sure you're hydrated and everything. Plus, I mean, that 2.5 hours actually is a lot longer once you've actually sat down and started and stopped the recording. And I thought, well, if I get the vlog done today as well, then I can not do anything on Sunday. But I was kind of tired, mentally tired. So I went out, did the vlog, and it was bad. It was very bad. So yeah, just delete it, get back in the car on a day with rain, and do this one, which feels a lot better. I feel a lot better. I've had a sandwich, I've had a cup of tea, I've had some mango juice, and now I'm driving around in the rain, and it feels good because unlike previous years when I would have been out on a motorcycle, my pants are not wet. Oh yes, rain like this would find a way in. Even if you were wearing the most waterproof thing in the world, there was a mean time before failure. And that mean time before failure was measured by the dripping of water straight into your pants, because it would come down off your chest, down off the fuel tank, and converge in your unmentionables every single time. And it didn't matter what I wore, whether it was a one-piece outer shell or whether I had Cordura, or didn't seem to matter. It would just fail at some point and you would get wet. I remember riding to Dad's once, and it was a 4-hour journey. I got to Dad's, I said, "Hi Dad," and just took all of my motorcycle stuff off and threw it in the bathtub because it was absolutely soaked, and just had to get changed, socks up into new dry clothes. But being inside the car is much more pleasant. It's a much more pleasant environment, and one of the only places I get to experience air conditioning other than work, but I'd rather be in the car. So yeah, do things that are okay. You can, if you do decide to do a recording and you're not feeling okay, sometimes you can edit around that. I know if you're playing video games, you can save, and maybe if you have a bad section, reload and re-record. It doesn't, I mean, you are still going to get fatigued if you're playing the same section over and over again, but then maybe you can edit around that. If you are sat in front of a camera and you're fatigued and you're trying to get a video out and you're trying to be entertaining, you're trying to bring the noise, bring the thunder, entertain people who are not even in the same country as you, maybe not even speak the same language, and you are fatigued, it's a lot harder to edit around that with a real life camera, like you're talking into. So it is definitely something to say, like, it's a good thing to say, take a break and maybe try something different, or maybe just change directions, do something very different. The car is a good example of that, because when I started doing vlogs, I was doing it in front of the computer, in front of a camera, in front of the computer, and I just wasn't feeling it. I wasn't feeling the closeness of the camera. I wasn't feeling like the living room setup. I wasn't feeling the lighting, because I could never get the lighting right when I was in the living room. It's a little bit better these days. I've changed cameras and I've changed lighting in there, but it still feels a little bit too close. Whereas the car feels way more natural. You get lots of natural lighting, you get the natural world as well, and you get everything is just passing by. So yeah, we can't do anything to control the rain or the sun. We can control our route somewhat. We can't control the traffic, but yeah, I feel this is much better, much more comfortable environment for me. So as an example of doing something different, yeah, I changed from doing a vlog in the living room to doing a vlog in the car, and honestly I think it's a much better scene, and it's much more fun for me to do as well, because I love driving. So that's cool. Good, excellent. I think that's pretty much everything that I wanted to talk about. I don't think there's anything else we need to look at, or even... Where are you going, my friend? Oh yes. Looking at the girls but not indicating. Very strange. Okay, fine. So yes, I think we've covered everything. So what I'll do is I'll just leave you here as we drive back through hail. If you like these videos, definitely leave a little subscribe. If you haven't subscribed before, leave a little like. If you do subscribe, dingle the bingle. If you want notifications, if you don't want notifications, don't click the bell. And I'll tell you what, I'll catch you next time. Oh yes, there was just one extra thing that I was asked about by Oz last night as we were talking in Discord. He said, "Oh, I was streaming and we had people in the Twitch, but how do I get them to engage? How do I get them to chat?" And the answer is, my dude, ask them a question. Just say, "Hey, Twitch chat, you're a bunch of little gremlins. How do I defeat the boss? Or how do I do this section of the game? Or what's the weather like where you are? And quite often, if people are not second monitoring it, then they might say, ooh, I can answer that. So they do a little answer for that. That's a good way of getting Twitch chats to talk to you. So yeah, ask people questions, ask their opinions, and ask them just what the weather's doing where they are. And quite often, someone will respond. Oh yeah, and the car is registering that it's 15 degrees, 15 degrees outside, which is a lot more chilly than it was just a couple of weeks ago, about half the temperature. So that's kind of fun.